It is now over 20 years since I have it announced. I've it said to the world. It is the only truth that unifies today's physics and metaphysics. And you men so-called intelligent of this world, you will not even notice you. Then I just have to have an infinite patience. In the meantime, I recommend, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Good morning. I am Italian. I am not able to speak English very well, but I try to speak in this language because I wish to help the whole humanity to find the line, to be glad, to be in a life that was not so not beautiful, not full of fine things. And I have the reason to help, having not the hope to can help, but the certainty to can help. Because my reasons are not my strange ideas that I have in my mind, but they are consideration that take its strength by the physics, by the science. There is a philosophy that is the philosophy of science, the epistemology, and I am an epistemologist. I only in the world today can truly help to you to find the just way, explaining why we are in a system in which we are in the more happy condition, it appears, of men who go from when they were baby until to the death. But this dynamic is not the original dynamic, but only that equal and the contrary to the exact dynamic. We are in a world in which the dynamic needs two directions: action and equal and contrary action. It is the third principle of the physics, of the dynamic law, named of action and reaction. We are perceiving not the action, but the equal and the contrary action. And I explain why it is so. It is really so. It is truly so. The two dynamic, inaction and inaction equal and contrary, one going on in the time, the other going back in the time, these two opposite dynamics are in the possibility to be counted with the same number, number one. number 1 as the action, and the number 1 as the action equal to the contrary. 1 is equal to 1. Now 1 is contrary to the other. So 1 is minus 1. The other is plus 1. They act in the same time, and we can only perceive the mixing of both. When we mix plus 1 with minus 1, we have the algebra that says the truth of the result. The result multiplying plus 1 and minus 1 is certainly minus 1. Is the going back. When we are simultaneously in the context, binary context of minus 1 and plus 1, we are coming back from plus 1 until minus 1, and the arrival is minus 1. We have run all these two unity starting from plus 1 and arriving finally to minus 1. We have made a return to the position of the minus 1. This explains that we, in our universe, we that are perceiving not the going back in the time, but the going on, starting from the Big Bang and going on in the universe that is made. We are perceiving this action as the creation of the universe only because we are perceiving in way equal and contrary to the original truth that mix the positive and the negative dynamic, and which, starting from a big project of existence, only a design of existence, as it carried to the start. God, the fundament of our existence, has made a binary design of action and reaction. And this design is exploded. But afterward, like a man who, after having inspired everything, he take all the design and put it to zero. All the design of existence is carried to be zero, as it went in its starting. The action, divine, transcendent our reality, is so divine and transcendent because while we are perceiving the creative action at its base, there is the system that go to zero and is in this moment annihilating itself. What is the means of this transcendent action that compels everything which is made to return to the time before that he was made? What is the means? The means is God that is in action. He is in action. An action that is omnipotent and has the power to allow to a man who is seeing something that is going to zero to perceive it in the opposing direction. And so, when this file of data is going to zero, we perceive it from zero to the other direction. And God, in this way, go back, compels all the universe to go to zero, and we perceive a universe that starts from zero and go to the end of the time that is impossible to be perceived. And why? Why there is not the end of the time? Because the time is made by the mathematic. If there was not the mathematic, this universe was not in existence. Because we have in a universe that is quantitative, is made by quantum, by quanta. The quantum is at its base the number of this quantum. The number is at the base to can do a project. The number. With 1 and 0 we can do a file, a DVD of a movie. And while in the movie nothing is in movement, we perceiving it in cycles of perception, we have the sensation to be in movement. But this movement appears, but it is not the truth. The truth is the origin of the design of the DVD, of this file made by numbers. It is enough two numbers, 1 and 0. Mixing it together in every form, we have the possibility to make a movie, a vision of something that exists at this movement. We are at the base of the interpretation of this file 100111100 like the quality of our universe, because our mind is divine and it is the ability to transform the number in quality as time, space, mass, and every unit of the physics. 10 is the cycle, and 1 that is in this cycle must be represented by 2 digits, 0, 1, and counting it's increasing, it is 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 6, 0, 7, 0, 8, 0, 9, 1, 0. When we have arrived to the end of this cycle with 1, 0, we have exactly what is equal and contrary to 0, 1. In a reality that is made by 2 directions, equal and contrary, one of the two is 0, 1. The exact other is 1, 0. And 0, 1 and 1, 0 exists at the base of our reality, as it were the 2 parts of one only God. The 2 parts. The 10 is as the Father God, Godfather of the Jesus Christ, because every number is made only by 10 in our mathematics, in our decimal mathematics. Every number. In fact, for example, 3 is in the 10 cycle, and if we wish to present this 3 in its cycle, we have to present the power 10 in power over 3. 10 raised to 3. That means 10 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 10. The index 3 means that the Godfather of 10, the cycle 10, is in action 3 times. 10, 10, 10, as 10 multiplied 10 multiplied 10. 10 rise to the 3rd dimension. And we have the 3rd dimension of the God base that is 10. So, when we have 10 rise to 0, we have a very strange thing that is at the base of the possibility of the existence. Because 10 means that it exists. It is 10. It is not 0, it's 10. But the index 0 means that this 10 there is not in action. Because if 10 raised to 3 is 10 multiplied 10 multiplied 10 3 times present, with 10 raised to 0, 10 is 0 times present. So it exists, but it is not in action. There is not in action. It exists, and it exists only in power to exist. If that 0 is divided in 2 equal and contrary dynamic, one is minus 0, 1, the other is plus 0, 1. And minus 0, 1 and plus 0, 1, it is 0. In this way, at the base of everything of the same possibility to exist, there is 10 raised to 0. And if we consider the truth said by Jesus Christ, this 10 raised to 0 is the quantity of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is not a man, is not something, it is a spirit. And what spirit? Of the unit of God. 10 raised to 0 is only the spirit of a Father, 10, that exists, but it is not in action in our space-time. So it is the Holy Spirit of God, Father. But when we consider its equality, when it enters in action, we take the complexity made by 10 raised to minus 1 and plus 1 and divided them in a multiplication between 10 raised to 0, 1 and 10 raised to minus 0, 1. 10 raised to plus 0, 1 is God Father. Is the same 10 which is at the base of 3 quantity. Divine. The first is 10 raised to 0, the second is 10 raised to plus 1, the third is 10 raised to minus 1. And if 10 raised to plus 1 is the Father, its inverse representation is the Son, the only one Son of God Father. Because if the God Father is 10 on 1, the Son exists only in one possibility to exist. The inverse, 1 on 10. They are two only, 10 on 1 and 1 on 10. This is the reason of one only Son, because God exists and has the power of the world through these numbers of the mathematics. And when we have that this formula, this equation of 10 raised to 0 equal to 10 raised to plus 1 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 1 is the God 1 and the 3, it is the same truth of the physics. When 2 centuries ago in France the scientists decided to make every unit in a way that it was in the 10th cycle of its 10th existence, because 1 and 10 of 1 are 1 10 times the other, and the other is 1/10 of the other, and 10 and 10th exists in 10 and 1. So, when the science decided to look for a unit of measurement that was in the 10th cycle of everything, 10 is raised to a quantity absolute in our physics. Because in our physics, what is general, what is full, what is in the complete presence, unitary presence, as the quantity 10. It is the same 10 that Jesus Christ gives to his Father. But not only Jesus Christ, also the Sacred Bible. Because when Yahweh gave to Moses the law of the power of God, they are 10 directions. The Decalogue, I don't know what is the term Decalogue in the English language, but the Decalogue contains 10 directions. The first is the only general of the most importance. The first, I am the only creator, and you have not another like me. The creator is one alone, and so we are. Who am I? Who are you? Not creator. No. In what a way we can do a creation when the design is going to zero, when everything is not in evolution, but in its contrary of a universe that returns at its origin. We perceive human action, but they are God that annuls this action and put it to zero. We perceive as human action what God is cutting away. And so, while we are in our problem of life and have this question, why this world is so, a man born to go to the death, and it is not a possible answer that in appearance give the strength to say it's not so. I have the reason to say to you that it is not so. It is the death that is going toward the birth. As the Earth, our planet, is turning toward the play in which the sun starts, and only by consequence we perceive the sun running in the sky until its death in the night. As it happens in one day, the same exists in our life. We, with our point of observation of our spirit, are going towards the start of everything. And in the direction equal and contrary, everything appears going not toward the beginning, but toward the end of everything. The end. Because in our end, in our world, everything is compelled to end. I have a dress. This dress, the last year, is not new. It is in consumption, as my life. In our world, everything goes toward its end. But it is not the truth. The truth is that everything that is in its consumption is returning to its new start. Well, in this way, physics and metaphysics are ruled by the same rule. It is a rule trinitary. 10 raised to 0 is equal to its action between 10 and 10th. It is the same rule of Jesus Christ and of our physics, because the matter, it is the quantity that was made considering 10 the cycle of the presence. The kilogram is in the matter the decimeter cubed, full of water at 4 degrees of temperature. Afterward, it was a champion of platinum iridium. But the original weight, it was made by 1 decimeter cubed of water at 4 degrees. So, you see that in line, the mass of 1 kilogram is long 1 decimeter, and all the space is 10 times 1 decimeter. So, the matter is the cycle of the mass 10th, and the kilogram was made in consideration of the matter. The matter was made in consideration of the meridianum of the earth, like a quantity little, because we cannot take measurement using the meridian of the earth. Our planet is too big. And so we divided the meridian in 40 millions of meters. And 1 meter was one of these 40 millions. So the matter is little, but it is conformed to the diameter, to the meridian, that being 4 multiplied 10 raised to 7 is, in this 10 raised to 7, the mass 10 raised to 3, that room for 10 raised to 7, and the result is 10 raised to 10. The unit is 10 raised to 10. And so also the matter is ruled by 10 raised to 10 in its generality. It contains in itself the mass that is 10 raised to 3, the flow, only the flow in line of this 10 raised to 3 gets by the division 10 raised to 10 divided 10 raised to 3. And we have 1 million, 10 millions, because 10 raised to 7 is 10 millions. But the meridian is 4 quarter part of the meridian. 4 divided 4. 4 multiplied 4 raised to minus 1. And so the unit of meridian was 4 divided by 4. But this division in divided 4 represented the unit. And so in the space there is only 4. 4 divided 4 times 10 raised to 10 divided by 10 raised to 3 is 4 times 10 raised to 7. So 40 millions of meters. And you see that also the matter is made from the power 10 raised to 10. Well, if you consider my epistemology, you arrive to be glad in this life, because I am a philosopher as of the physics, as of the metaphysics, because I am not glad if I arrive only to give to you the law of existence in the matter. They are the same law that exists in our spirit. I have told to you 10 raised to 0 equal to 10 multiplied 10th is the unit and trine God. As in metaphysics, as in physics. Have you another in the world that speaks in way so clear, explaining the fundament of the existence in physics and in metaphysics? No, you have not. You have only alone. And it is really a great mistake that you made if you do not consider what I am telling. Because I am an Italian, because I am a man that has no beautiful, no bigness, no name, it is important, the name of Romano Amodeo that you do not know, it is important. The name is not important. It is important the truth that arrives to you. The truth. It is not important who is saying the truth. The truth is important. But if you are saying a man that you do not know, and so you have this consideration, this is no one. And I have to spend my time to this no man. I do more important thing in my life. I sing, I open the television, I make everything, but I do not stop here to and you of the English language of the world have done this. This is the situation of the visualization of the kernel Romano Amodeo until now, where Italy is one and the world is 10 times the people of Italy. The situation is this. You can see how the Italian people is able to perceive the bigness of the assumption of Romano Amodeo, and all the world is not able. What is a question of something that the Italian people has and all the world hasn't? So, the question are two only. Or the Italians are a great people that is able to understand the truth, not observing who is to say it, a great people, or you have not the exact position about the truth. You have not what is necessary to understand. It is not possible that only the Italians are so able, or the Italians are a great people that is able to understand the truth, not observing who is to say it, a great people, or you have not the exact position about the truth. You have not what is necessary to understand. It is not possible that only the Italians are so able to understand the quality when there is. The quality there is. The truth in what I'm seeing, I'm saying, there is. But you, in all the world, are seeing and do not see. Why? And so, I speak English for you, hoping that speaking in English, the truth is able to go better that this man that you are seeing, and that is Mr. No One, as not important. It is important, of the most importance, what this Mr. Nobody is saying, but when I'm indicating the moon, you are observing my indication and not the moon. If I am indicating the moon, you have to observe the moon and not my finger. But you are observing my finger. People of the world, wake up! Inteligentsia, wake up. You are sleeping today.